Hope everybody is hopping out and take advantage of Yom Simchas Shel Rashbi. It's a special day for brachas and for all good things. I don't have a Tanya with me, but we'll try to do Baal Peh. Okay, so finishing up the idea, the Ava Kamayim Apanim Lapanim. So it's interesting to point out that previously we learned right in the Perek Mem Zayin about the Yetzias Mitzrayim that we see the Eibusher's love, the love of Kamayim Apanim Lapanim is expressed through Yetzias Mitzrayim. Here, the Alter Rebbe goes a step further and explains how the expression of this love actually begins with creation. Now, it's a little bit nuanced, but there has to be a tzimtzum from the Ein Sof to create the Olam HaAtzilus. But in this context over here, we're not talking about that tzimtzum. We're talking about the tzimtzum because Olam HaAtzilus is still Elikus. At the end of the day, it's still Elikus. And so here the tzimtzum really, in this context, the tzimtzum begins after Olam HaAtzilus to create Nivroim, right? Olam HaAtzilus, there are no malachim, only neshamas. There are neshamas of Atzilus. Interestingly, I heard that whenever it says a person's name in the Torah 2 times consecutively, like Avram, or Yaakov, Moshe, it means that it's a neshama of Atzilus. So there's only neshamas there. Neshamas is a chelik alikami mal mamish. So the Alter Rebbe says that in order to create Olam HaBriya, there has to be tzimtzumim, atzumim, and minim shoinim. So there's very, very powerful tzimtzumim, and there's different kinds of tzimtzumim that we're not going to get into. That the Alter Rebbe says here is not the place to talk about it or to discuss it. So from Atzilus, it's like creating a dam, right? There's so much, and you got to be able to create and stop the flow. So move everything on the side. So the love is that the Eibusher put everything on the side, not just Olam HaAtzilus, but also Olam HaBriya. That's one tzimtzum. So within that creates Mamale. Within Mamale, there's also Ribuy Revaves La'en Kates tzimtzumim to get from Olam HaBriya into Olam HaYetzira, and then again tzimtzumim of Olam HaYetzira into Olam HaAsiya, and then within Asiya there's, for example, the mashal that I was listening to a shir from Rabbi Silverberg. When you try to explain a very difficult concept to a child, right? A lot of times the mashal of tzimtzum that's brought in Chassidus is the mashal of Rav and Talmud. You have a tremendous idea and you have to give it over to a Talmud. So we'll take an extreme example, which is, I think, more similar here. When you try to explain the difficult concept, right? The example he uses the stock market. You try to explain the stock market to a 6-year-old. So first you have to make it tzimtzum. You have to take 99.9% of the information and move it away. And then that 0.1% of information, you have to put it through tzimtzumim, and you have to put it into language, right? You can't just say the law of supply and demand. You have to put it into more tzimtzumim. So not just you took away all the information. So that's what the Eibusher did. He took all of that away, and he said, the Eibusher says, I don't care about any of that. It's not what the whole purpose, the whole tachlis hakavana, the purpose for creation, as we learned, is that a yid should be created in Olam Hazeh HaGashmi and transcend all of that and fight against his Yetzer Hara. So if the Eibusher was able to put all of that away, why? Because Ava Dichekes Sabasar. Right? Like the Gemara says, that if there's room in the heart, there's room in the home. Even though, but usually that's tzimtzum. Tzimtzum comes from Yira, from Gvura, not from Ava. But here we see there's Ava. Ava can cause also an union of tzimtzum. And the Eibusher puts everything aside because he loves us. This is what he wants. This is what he ultimately loves. Is a yid should be able to do a mitzvah in Olam Hazeh. Now that explains why we have the brachas before Kriya Shema. Like he brings from the Rashba. The Rashba says that usually when you make a bracha on something, if you did the mitzvah without making the bracha, you can't make the bracha again later. Right? Over Lasiyasam. However, when it comes to Kriya Shema, you can say Birchas Kriya Shema, first 2 brachas, beforehand. Now, why? If you look at the brachas, what does that have to do with Kriya Shema? We understand. At the end, we talk about Yitzis Mitzrayim. We learn how that's connected to Shema, and Yitzis Mitzrayim is the same thing. But why Kriya Shema? Why the two brachas? What does that have to do with Kriya Shema? So we're learning about all the malachim and the serafim who are in Eilam Abriya, and the Ifanim and the Chais HaKodesh who are on a lower level. All that, the Kodesh, right? They don't even know what they're saying. They don't even know what's Kodesh. You're just saying Kodesh, this is so far removed from me. I can't even describe it. Right? Do they say Baruch Hashem, Baruch Kved Hashem Mimekoimai? I don't know where it is, but wherever it is, that's the Eibishter's Makom. So the Eibishter pushes that all inside and creates the world so that a Yid can do a mitzvah and have a relationship with Hashem.